Hello, I'm Jill Vellerman. I'm a 5-step assessor and trainer, and I'm also one of the lead coordinators in helping organisations and countries become self-sufficient. And today's video is about how a service, or indeed a whole country where an organisation is operating nationally, can become self-sufficient with the 5-step method. What we're going to cover is what's needed to complete this process, along with some key factors for success. And then we're going to hear from some of these services about what they've learned about what works well for them, for countries and services that have completed this process or are working through it, and also some of the challenges that can arise and how these can be overcome. So to start with, this slide shows what's a non-self-sufficient service and what's a self-sufficient services and some of the key differences. And on the left-hand side, what you can see is the service has their practitioners trained by AFANET, and they manage their practitioners, but they continue to pay AFANET for all the other processes. So this means about assessing and accrediting the practitioners. And as staff turnover, the service needs to continue paying AFANET to train, assess and accredit, if they wish that, all new practitioners. And the service collects the family member questionnaire data and sends it to us to analyse. But on the right-hand side, at the very centre, the service manages its own practitioners, but it's surrounded by a high quality system around that. So it can train its own practitioners, it can accredit its own practitioners, and most importantly, as staff turnover, it can continue carrying on doing that process. It also collects the family member data questionnaires and analyses it for its own organisation. So at the heart is a high quality system to manage the service on its own. And this example is the Republic of Ireland, and this is one of the best examples of a self-sufficient 5-step service. And the National Family Support Network introduced this intervention across the country with the organisations that it works for. So at the beginning of 2021, there were some very impressive figures. There were 35 training courses, and they trained nearly 350 practitioners. And these courses were run face-to-face all over Ireland, and now they're currently running them as Zoom sessions. Furthermore, nearly 50 of these trainees have become accredited 5-step method practitioners. And obviously, some of the staff and people they have trained have left. And so there were many more people accredited as 5-step assessors and trainers. But currently, they have 50 accredited 5-step trainers and 4 accredited 4-step assessors. And what it means is they can continue to get trainers and assessors, keep on training them, and then if anybody leaves, they've got somebody to fill those gaps. So what Ireland has, it has strength and depth in its system. So how do you develop a self-sufficient 5-method service? So there are 4 main steps in this to become self-sufficient. And AFANET will support you throughout the whole process. And the initial part of this is the comprehensive bespoke project plan. And we work with the organisation to go through all the different tasks that are required. In the majority of cases, there's also a memorandum of understanding, information sharing agreement, and this also outlines what AFANET will provide for you and what's expected from each of the organisations or the country. So we work very flexibly with services to attain the goal so that they can have sufficient number of practitioners in place, and then we can accredit them if they wish and support them on the most effective methods to achieve this. We also advise on who is best suited to become an assessor and also a trainer. And all of these processes and guidance are on the website, and this ensures a really high quality system. So it's worth highlighting that much or all of this work can be done online or face-to-face. But we've responded to the challenges that have risen through the international nature of our work and also about the global pandemic. So firstly, there's the practitioner training. So face-to-face, this takes place over 2 days, and over Zoom, it's normally run as 4 half days. But again, this can be bespoke to the organisation. And then secondly, there is the practitioner accreditation if the organisation wants this. So we support the organisation to do this and get as many people accredited as possible. Thirdly, some of those practitioners can go on to be assessors. And as said, we work with the organisation to think about the best type of people, because being an assessor means that you really want to enjoy looking at the evidence, writing comments and scoring, and that suits different types of people. And then fourthly, there's becoming a trainer. And obviously we recommend choosing people who already have the training skills, but we can put all of those processes in place for the organisation. So what are the success factors that really work? And I've worked with organisations over a number of years, and there are a number of things that ensure success. The first one is having a lead champion within the organisation. And that person needs to have the skills to keep the whole organisation enthused. Normally people are reporting to some kind of board or governance committee, and that person really needs to enthuse them about the 5-step method and giving them the results of our global data about the fact that it's a very effective method. It goes without saying they also need to be a good organiser. Other key skills are being good at communication and ensuring all the right processes are put in place. And importantly, ensuring time for the practitioners, the assessors and trainers. That's a key thing, as often people can feel very pressurised in their job, but it's making sure time is allocated. There's also being supportive to those practitioners. So that's things around, say, giving them the time, but ensuring good feedback and supervision. And what's really important is gaining a critical mass within the organisation of practitioners, assessors and trainers, and then you can truly become self-sufficient. What's very critical is the administrative and the quality processes are all kept on track. So it can be that local champion, but it's best to share the load and have somebody else who's really in charge of that, getting the family member questionnaires in, organising the training dates for supervision, all of those kinds of things. And finally, we would recommend not having it rest on a single person, because if that person moves on, you kind of, in a way, have to start again. So it's about embedding all these processes within the organisation. So there's some of our key tips for success factors.